It is dark. Not lights out dark. It is so dark that your eyes are open and it changes nothing. A second ago, you were in the water. Now you are held from all sides by something warm, huge, and completely calm. It does not growl. It does not bite. It is carrying you down at a speed you did not choose. Your hands grope for a wall. The wall is everywhere. The wall is moving. And somewhere in your head, a single thought is pounding. The most useless of all. This is a mistake. It was not supposed to happen. They got me confused with someone else. You are absolutely right. It will not make things any easier for you. We all grew up on the same picture. Jonah, Pinocchio, a cozy cave, a campfire, an old man with a fishing rod. You have about 2 minutes. Let's break them down second by second. The countdown has already started. Second 0, you were misidentified. Second 40, your body begins to realize where it has ended up. Minute 2, the oxygen runs out. Minute 3, the chemistry. And in a year, something will happen to you that you definitely did not order. A quick disclaimer for reassurance. Out of 90 species of whales, only one can even theoretically get to you. The others have throats so narrow that your shoulders will not fit through. The blue whale, the largest animal in the history of the planet, cannot swallow anything wider than a grapefruit. The largest creature on Earth feeds through a straw, and apparently has no idea how embarrassing that is. So, your shoulders save you from 89 species. Evolution did this by accident, without you in mind at all, and it needs no thanks. And the 90th species is carrying you down right now. The sperm whale, the planet's largest toothed predator. A third of it is head. The remaining 2/3 exist mostly to carry that head to where it is dark. And it is absolutely dark down there. He dives down 2 or even 3 kilometers to hunt for squid, which almost no one has ever seen alive. He could not make you out. No one makes anyone out at that depth. He heard you. The sperm whale blasts the darkness with clicks so powerful that the echo returns as a detailed picture. Where you are, how big you are, what you are made of. The problem is, your skeleton doesn't reflect sound the way a soft squid does. From the whale's perspective, you are a squid that for some reason built itself out of sticks. And notice, he didn't fail as a hunter. He failed as a recognition system. Those are different things, and the second one is more insulting. Now for the mechanics. A sperm whale doesn't swallow the way you do. He doesn't push anything down. He sucks it in. The tongue and hyoid bone pull back sharply, like the plunger of a syringe, and the prey just flies inside. You weren't eaten. You were sucked in. Like the last noodle. And right here is an honest correction, without which everything else would be a lie. The sperm whale's esophagus is only about 20 to 25 centimeters. It is the widest throat on the planet, and it is still narrower than your shoulders. A squid is soft and folds up. You do not. You are like a sofa that won't fit through a doorway, only with panic. So realistically, you will get stuck, and you will become the most unpleasant mistake of the whale's entire life. But our video is about what happens next. So let's agree on this. For the next 10 minutes, you are a squid. Congratulations on the promotion. The first chamber awaits. You have arrived in the first of 4 stomach chambers. Yes, 4. The deep's ultimate predator has the digestive system of a cow. Evolution sometimes just copies the homework from the desk neighbor and hands it in without looking, and then the animal lives with someone else's answers for millions of years. The first chamber is the forestomach. There are no glands in it, almost no acid, but there are very powerful longitudinal muscles. It works like a bird's gizzard. It grinds. The whale doesn't chew, which means the chewing has to happen inside. In a sperm whale, this compartment is the largest of the 4, because the prey enters whole, and, in its original form, is not fit for further digestion. Your ribs deliver some bad news. They are no longer the most reliable part of the structure. This is exactly where everything the whale couldn't digest settles. Hard squid beaks are found almost exclusively in this compartment. It works like a coarse filter, letting the soft stuff pass through and keeping the hard stuff. Right now, you are in the reception area of a sorting facility, and you are the one being sorted. There is almost no acid here, but being happy about that makes about as much sense as being happy that there is no vinegar in a cement mixer. But the mill is not what will kill you. What will kill you is what is not here at all. There is no air here, no pocket, no bubble, not 1 cubic centimeter where you can sit down and think over your decisions. Geppetto, by the way, lived inside the whale for several years. Geppetto was made of wood. His needs were simpler. Your lungs are your entire oxygen budget, and it lasts for about 2 minutes if you lie still and think happy thoughts. Your body tries its best during these 2 minutes. Your heart speeds up to push the remaining oxygen to your head. Your spleen releases the reserve of red blood cells into your bloodstream that it was keeping for a rainy day. The blood vessels in your arms and legs constrict, redirecting blood to your brain. This entire system has been fine-tuned for diving over millions of years. It works perfectly. It's just that today the task is a little different. And now, your body's signature trick. It cannot measure oxygen. At all. You do not have an oxygen sensor, only a carbon dioxide sensor. Your body does not monitor whether it has fuel. It monitors how much waste has accumulated. Evolution gave you a fire alarm that reacts to smoke and completely ignores the fire. So the burning in your chest and the wild urge to inhale are not a craving for oxygen. It is your brain protesting the waste. True deprivation approaches silently, without warnings and without special effects. Next, your brain starts to cut back. It turns off the lights in rooms where, by its calculations, no one is left. The periphery, vision, hearing. You are not struggling or suffocating. You are just being gradually evicted from your own body, room by room, until the last one goes dark. This is the best thing that will happen to you today. Because just past the wall, the second chamber is waiting. The main stomach secretes hydrochloric acid, pepsin, and lipase, the very same set that is working inside your own stomach right now. The difference is purely in scale. Your kit is designed for a sandwich, his for a half-ton squid. The acidity is from 1 to 3 on the pH scale. Kind of like vinegar that has a personal grudge against you. The only reason your stomach doesn't digest itself is because it renews its lining around the clock, like a repair crew with no days off or vacations. Your skin doesn't have a crew like that. It wasn't designed for this scenario at all. Notice how calmly everything is set up. No rage, no hunting, no struggle, just a reaction proceeding at the exact same speed, no matter who gets caught in it. A squid, a fish, a random person with a mortgage. The equation remains the same, only the input variables change. The only death in nature that is most honestly described as bookkeeping, but your bones won't dissolve. For the same reason squid beaks don't dissolve, they're too stubborn. Usually the whale just regurgitates these things. Turns out even he has a limit to his patience. So the solid parts of you are left behind. And that is when the most unexpected thing happens. Sometimes the sharp remains travel further down into the intestines and scratch the walls. Then the sperm whale starts coating them in its own wax. For years, layer after layer, like a pearl oyster, except the result can be the size of a suitcase and smells disgusting at first. This is how ambergris is made, a gray lump that for centuries remained one of the most expensive substances on Earth. The best pieces sold for tens of thousands of dollars per kilogram, and perfumers fought over them just to make someone else's scent last longer on someone else's skin. In other words, you might very well end up as a note in an expensive perfume. The only way to come out of a whale with a profit is not to come out at all. Importantly, this doesn't happen in just any whale. Ambergris is found in only a few % of sperm whales, and it is still not fully understood whether it is normal or a disease. Which means even your posthumous career isn't guaranteed. The competition is stiff. And since we are here, you have probably heard the story. A sailor, swallowed by a sperm whale at the end of the 19th century, found alive in its stomach 24 hours later, his skin bleached by acid, his hair gone, his vision ruined. Beautiful. It made its way into books, sermons, school retellings, and it was entirely made up. The vessel from the legend was not a whaling ship. No sailor by that name was on the crew list. The captain denied everything in no uncertain terms. It seems the story was cobbled together around a real whale that was being exhibited across England as a fairground attraction at the time. The first whale in history to cash in twice, on tickets and on the legend. Only one question remains. Why do we desperately want this story to be true? Go back to your first thought, the one in the dark. They mistook me for someone else. Everything that happened today happened without a single decision about you. The echo came back wrong. The piston fired because that's what it does. The muscles contracted because they contract. The acid didn't care whether you were a squid or a human with vacation plans. There is no who column in it. And the unbearable part isn't that you were killed. What is unbearable is that you weren't distinguished. That is why we have been retelling Jonah for 2,000 years. In that story, the abyss opens its eye, choosing you personally out of everyone who sailed that day, and swallows you, with purpose, with a lesson, with intent. The universe has personal business with you. Even if it ends in a stomach, if you think about it, it's a step up in status. And the truth is colder. The mechanism had been working for 100 million years before you and didn't notice a hitch. We invented a monster that chooses us, just so we wouldn't have to admit a simple thing. We weren't eaten. We were mistaken for someone else, and we always preferred to be prey, anything to avoid being a typo. What scares you more, that you were chosen, or that you were mistaken for someone else? Be honest.